So this is, thank you. So this is the topic of today, right? The right mindset is key to be successful. And Georgette already told a little about, okay, what's success, right? But the thing that I'm going to tell you today is like it counts for every success, whatever you call success, right? So what's on the program today? First, the introduction. We are doing that now. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about who I am and what I do and why I do this, of course. And then I'm going to tell you something about the 5 steps mindset principle, which you can use in your life wherever you want. There's also going to be some coaching for the ones who want and some Q&A. So that's what's up today. I don't really have a time frame. We'll see. We'll try to get it around the hour so that's not too long, because I know you guys have other things to do. Now, this is also something, how do you get the most out of this workshop? Well, first put your camera on, then I can see you, and then I know who's here, and that's nicer. Try to stay until the end, because like the Q&A, often in the Q&A, the most interesting things happen, because, you know, in my presentation, I don't know who you guys are, but if there's Q&A, then it's more on topic and you can learn more there. I ask you to be open-minded. It's a little bit like when you don't like to wear green and you see a green jacket, just fit it on and maybe it will fit. So give it a chance. If you hear things, be open-minded. Be present. Sometimes it's like in these Zoom meetings, people go off to eat something and then they come back and then they lost track. So just be present, right? You can always ask questions, but please raise your digital hand if you want to do that. Then I can see also who wants to, or who has a question, and then I can speak to you directly. So, okay. So now I would like to know what you personally, what you would like to take away from this today, and just put it in the chat. Put it in the chat what you want to take away today. Check my chat then. Stop sharing for a minute. Just put in the chat, what do you want to take away today? What do you want to learn? Why are you here? You know, all these things. Just put it in the chat for me. Now I can have a little bit of an idea why people are here. So far, nothing in the chat. So you're all here to see Georgette then.
Okay,
yeah,
where is my chat?
Build a mentor profile for success. That
okay.
is really applicable to different. Yeah, okay. Try mindset. Yeah, very good. Going to do that. Absolutely. Eliminate to take. Okay, yeah. Take fear and take actions for success. Nice. Nice one. Tool set for success. Okay. Yeah, we're going to absolutely do that today. To build up, yeah, a success muscle. Okay, cool. Cool. Very cool.
To be
okay, something else. Right, might to be strategically successful. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Nice. 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 To be more confident. There's a piece of confidence about confidence in this webinar, so that's going to be interesting. Claire. Okay. To be more confident again. Okay. Developing more. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm going to open your eyes a little bit about confidence. I have a very distinctive opinion about that, but we'll see in the presentation, but we will get there. To be successful. Okay. Yeah. Go on. All right. I'm going to share my screen again, so then more organized. Okay. Sure, believing it. Okay. Cool. Right. Somebody is sitting big. Cool. Yeah. All right. You're surely going to get some value out of this then today. So great. Looking forward to this. Good. Let me share my screen again. Right. There's this button. Okay. Good. Now, where do I start? At 21, I told my parents something what no parent wants to hear. I was a teacher in Belgium, which is a good job in Belgium. But I wasn't fulfilled with my job. I wasn't happy. And I decided that I wanted to be something else. Yep. I wanted to be a clown. Yeah, a professional clown. That's what I wanted to do. And before doing that, there were a lot of challenges, right? Yeah, thanks for the emo. So the first one, the challenge I had, I was in totally wrong environment. Nobody believed that I could do it. Nobody believed that it was possible, and I was left alone with my idea. I want to be a clown, right? I had no skills. I didn't know what a clown did, how he acted, etc. I had zero skills, no certifications. Don't know even if it's possible to have certifications as a clown, but I didn't have them. When I started, it was early 90s. The internet wasn't there. There was no internet, right? I'm already a little bit older. And yeah, when I had that idea, when I wanted to be a clown, there was no internet. So I didn't have that. I didn't have no plan. There was no plan. I just had that idea. I wanted to be that. And last but not least, I had no money, right? And if you see all these things, people want to start a business or want to do what they love, they all have these challenges, right? And I had the challenges too. Now, everyone told me it was impossible. I had the idea, I want to be a clown. I want to make my living out of clowning. I want to have a decent income. And really, everybody, there was not one friend, not one family member who said, yeah, sure, you can do that. So that was my biggest challenge, actually. But you guys know it's something Nelson Mandela said. It always seems impossible until it's done, right? Until somebody does it. And that's also what I did, actually. Now, what I had, but I didn't know it at that time. What I had was a success mindset. That's what I had, but I didn't know it that time. I really didn't know what it even was. But through my job now as a mindset coach / career coach, I know exactly what it is, and we'll cover that later, and we'll go through the steps of what a success mindset actually is and how you can get one if you don't have one. Right? So 25 years later in my career, I did 25 theater productions, a short movie, educational projects, and so on and so on and so on. And I built a 5-figure business from clowning. So I told everyone, see, it's possible. And I want to just let you look at a few things, and then you have an idea of the things I did. 1 minute. So you see, I had no beard back then. So this gives you a little bit of idea what I did during these 25 years of clowning, right? Now, I followed my passion, which was clowning, and I touched many people's life. And I did that in a very special way, because during my 25-year career as a clown, 10 years, I was a hospital clown. And maybe you guys know the concept, hospital clowns visit sick children. And that's what I did for 10 years. And the last 2 to 3 years, I only visited children who were about to die. Sometimes even had a few days to live, few weeks, few months, but they were going to a certain death. And that's what I did the last 2 to 3 years of that career. And that was a period I learned so much. I learned a lot of insights in life. I learned insight in having getting insight in people, I learned to listen, because we as people, we don't listen. When somebody is talking to us, we are already in our mind, we are preparing our answer. So we have a problem with listening. That's what I learned as a hospital clown. I learned gratitude. I saw all these children, sometimes even 2, 3, 4 years old, who were having a certain debt. So I learned that I needed to be grateful for what I had and what I did. I learned about authenticity because uh, when you visit these children as a clown, it's very, very important to be authentic. They have a certain extra, let's say, an extra feeling, these children, that if you don't like what you are doing, and if you are not authentic, if you are not honest, they feel it. And so I needed to be honest. I needed to be authentic. I learned about leadership because you must let's just tell one story, a little story, is that I often came to these people. They were in grief, of course, because their son or daughter just had a few days to live, weeks to live. And the remark I often had was, leave us, we don't want to see a clown right now, right? Now, I knew what I could be for these people, and I knew my value as a clown and what I could do in these last moments of these children and their parents. So it took a lot of leadership to get through these parents and to explain that it was in fact a very good idea to leave me in the room. So I learned a lot about leadership, and I learned about no judgment, right? Judging people is something for as a coach is really important, that you never judge, right? So that's just a few things that I learned during this very interesting period of hospital clowning. But it was one thing, it was the most important thing that I learned in these 10 years. And that was, everything is about mindset. Everything. Everything in life is mindset. And that's why I'm so passionate about mindset. That's what I'm doing in my coaching. That's what I'm working with, right? And this success mindset that I had automatically is something you can learn, or is something that you can improve, etc., etc. And that's what I want to explain today in this webinar. So what is it? What is this mindset, success mindset? What the hell is it, right? Okay, let's see. There are two very important things you need when you start talking about mindset. Now, the first thing you need to develop, it's something, if you don't have it, you can develop it. The first thing is unshakable belief. You need to have an unshakable belief in yourself. And that's something you can learn, that's something you can work on, but that's the thing you need if you want to go for success. No matter what success that is, that success can be a good father for your children, that success can be earning a lot of money, that success can be having a very good relationship, can be anything. But an unshakable belief in yourself is one of the basic things you need to establish. The second thing, and maybe even important, is you need to be willing to fail. If you don't accept failure, you will never have success. That's something I learned during my period of being this clown. I could nothing. I had no skills. I had nothing. So I needed to learn everything and to try out everything. And there were so many things that went wrong. So many things. But each time when something went wrong, I fixed it and I learned. And next time I learned with it. And that's how I developed my clown skills. And that's also why it took me like 10 years from, I started in 1993 or something. It took me 10 years to make a decent living out of it. But I was willing to fail, and I was willing to fail over and over and over again. So these two basic principles, willing to fail and unshakable belief, is something that are so important. And without them, you can't actually move further. And our good friend Steve Jobs also said something. It's impossible to fail if you learn from your mistakes, right? Don't give up. So, and that is really true. Now, let's see what these 5 steps for mindsets for success. Let's see this principle. What is that? Let's see what it is, right? Now, it stays with one thing. There's one key thing that has to be there if you want to have success. Does anybody have a clue? And if you have a clue, put it in the chat for me. Let me stop sharing here. Okay, put it in the chat what you think that is, that you absolutely need, and that's something you don't need to learn or advocate. Everybody can have that. But what is that? What is the thing you need that has to be there when you start thinking about success? Passion for an idea, strength, resilience, yeah, open minds, grit, trust, all good. Passion, first, yeah, goal, conviction, cool. Curiosity, yeah, all true. There's one, yeah, the right answer is already there. I mean, they're all right answers, don't get me wrong. It's all good here. But the most important thing, and actually that's the thing where everything starts. Let me go back to this here. Where am I? Where everything starts is passion. And I heard Israel already talking about passion in the pre-conversation here, he being an architect. It all starts with passion. You need to have a passion for something. Never mind, I had a passion for clowning. And everybody told me it was not possible to make a decent living of that. But my passion was big enough and I did it anyway, right? But you need to be crystal clear about your passion. That's the first step. And how do you get crystal clear? Well, passion is never job related. It never is. So people who say, I have a passion for real estate, that's not true. They don't have a passion for real estate. They could maybe have a passion for helping people. Maybe they have a passion for, when you're in real estate, you could have a passion for what, I don't know, but not for real estate. They could have a passion for selling, for sales. That could be a passion. But the job is never a passion. My clowning was never a passion. My passion was to work with kids. That's why I became a teacher, right? So a lot of people are wrong there. And I get in my coachings, a lot of people who say, Eddy, I don't have a passion. And then I say, okay, come in like half an hour, 45 minutes, we discover what their real passion is. And they are looking, yeah, I want to do crypto because I'm passionate about crypto, or passionate about money, or passionate about this. And then we have to look further because that's all job related, right? So as long as you're not 100% clear about what your passion is, you'll never get to success. That's where it all starts. And the second thing in this passion thing is that you need to know yourself, right? That is also key. Now, in my coaching, I use a thing that's called management drives, and it's an HR tool actually. And you have many of these tools. You have MBTI, you have Insights, you have management drives, you have so many of these tools, and they all come down to the same. You get a profile of yourself, and you need to recognize yourself in that profile. And then you don't only need to know yourself, but you also see how other people are looking at you. And that's very important, to know yourself. So that's step one, passion. Now, if you have clarity about your passion, that will automatically lead you to confidence. Yeah, there is the word. And see, confidence is something, and here again, confidence is something you cannot learn, right? Confidence you get through doing things. If you do things and you see, okay, that's good, then you get confidence. So confidence is something you build. You cannot follow let's say a weekend where they say, yeah, well, we will give you confidence in this weekend. It is impossible. You get confidence by doing things and by following your passion. Because when you follow your passion, you are confident about yourself. You know, in my clown career, I didn't know anything about clowning. I didn't know anything about it, right? But that was my passion, and I was so passionate that I was confident that I could do it. So from passion comes confidence, right? Now, confidence will make you do what you love, not the other way around. So if you are confident about your passion and who you are, then you choose something that you love to do. As long as you're not confident enough, you're going to go other ways. Let's again tell my clown story. I was confident I could do it. And then what I loved to do was this clowning. So through my confidence came the decisions I needed to make to doing what I love, right? And if you want to build success, you need to do what you love, because otherwise you won't endure. Otherwise you won't do what's necessary. You won't take the necessary actions. You can do them for a little while, but sometimes it takes years to get success, right? You see on the internet now, 90 days to build a five-figure business. Okay, you can try that, but I don't believe in that. I mean, success doesn't come overnight. You could have, some people are lucky. Yeah, it happens, but it's maybe 1 in a million, or maybe 1 in 10 million. So again, this confidence will make you decide that I'm going to do what I love. Again, one of the basic things when you build success. And if you do what you love, right, you'll never have to work one day, because then working becomes fun. And when it becomes fun, you will do it more, and you do it more and more and more, and you become good in it. That's what I did with my clowning. It was fun. And I did it more and more and more, and I became good at it. I became very good at it. Because if you're not doing what you love, you are actually wasting your time. Life is so short. It is so short. Why should we do things that we don't love? You only have, like, if you are lucky, 70, 80 years, maybe, if you're lucky. But we could die tomorrow, each one of us. So let's start doing what we love, right? Now, if we are doing what we love, that will energize us. Again, something we need. We need the energy to every day get out of our bed, jump out of our bed, if you do what I love, and do the necessary actions you need to do to get to success. If you are energized, you won't procrastinate. If you are energized, you will take actions. If you are energized, you will step out of your comfort zone. But the energy, you'll get that through doing what you love, through your passion and doing what you love. Yeah. And then the last step, energy leads to money. And that's where most people go wrong. They start the other way. It is passion, confidence, doing what you love, energy, money, not the other way around. Where most people start and look is, okay, where can I get money? What's interesting to earn money? And they are looking and they are looking. So they start the other way around. And then during the process, right? And in the beginning, they get energy, right? Because they see the money, but they are not doing what they love. And their confidence will fade away, and they have no passion, and it will fall. It will fall. So that's about money. Now, if you have a new mindset, you get new results. It's a circle. Every time you get a new mindset, and every time your mindset changes and you get to the right things, you get new results. And that's actually, as a coach, where I always come in. People come with me and they are stuck somewhere. Could be in anything, could be in their business, in their private life, no matter what, but they are stuck. And there's a reason that they are stuck. Because if you are trying to solve the problems with the same thinking you created them, you're not going to solve them. You know the story of the monk who went up the hill, right, to think about Buddha and everything. And he came back, like, after a year, back from the mountain, and people asked him questions. And he was there for 1 year. He came back, but he couldn't answer these questions. He couldn't, which is normal, because how could he solve problems that he created himself? He thought that Buddha was going to talk to him or whatever, but that's not the case. If you are solving the problems that you yourself created, you're not going to the next level. That's also in business. See, a lot of people come to me and they are at a certain level. And the thing is, they try to solve their problems with their own thinking again. Don't trust others, etc. They are self-made men, but there's always somewhere where it stops. I had that in my clowning too. And I'll tell you a little story about that. I was like, I think I was 6 or 7 years into my clowning. And there was like a course with a very, very famous clown who did it. It was 2 weeks or 10 days. Don't remember, no, 2 weeks. And yeah, I went to it. And the first day when I was there, I really thought I couldn't do anything. And I was clowning for 5, 6, 7 years. I thought these years had made me a decent clown. So I came with this woman and she shattered everything for me. It was as if I couldn't clown. And I remember that evening, the first evening of the first day, that I was doubting to go back. You know, she shook my confidence that much that I was doubting to go back. I cried the way home, from there to home. I cried the whole way. And I told my then ex-wife, I'm not going back tomorrow. And she didn't understand because I was crazy about clowning and this was a really good clown. And I wanted to be a clown and didn't go back. But of course, I got up the next day and I did go back. But that for me was a very, very important lesson. For me, there was a lesson that you go to a certain level and you think you can go higher and you don't see it. You don't see the possibilities. And that's where a coach comes in, or a trainer or somebody else, and they will help you to see the next level. Once you see the next level, you can get there. But as long as you keep stuck in your own head, you won't see it and you won't get to the next step, right? So that is maybe the most important thing about having success, is you need to be around people that will help you. And that was one of the biggest mistakes I made in my clown career. I wanted to do it on my own. I did it on my own. I was so stubborn that I waited much too long to get help from people. I waited 7 years to go to this world famous clown. I could have done that first year. I would have like saved 6 years, but I didn't do it. So that's also a little bit my story, what I do now, and why I am so passionate actually about mindset. Now, and I'm going to tell this now because now we're going into coaching and Q&As, is if you want to go deeper in this, because of course I'm going to answer questions and all, but I know there are always people who want to have a little bit more private conversation. You can do that with me, right? There's no problem. And if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with me, I'll put I put a link in the chat. You can just click it and book a conversation with me. In this conversation, we are going to be clear about your goals. What are your goals? That will be clear. We're going to see what's getting into your way. We're going to have an action plan so you can move forward. It will make a difference. It will give you tremendous value. And the nice part of it is there will be no strings attached. You can't buy anything in this call. I'll put I put the link in the chat, and if you are interested, you can do that. Now, my question for you now is, let me stop sharing. Okay. I know this is wrapped up, and that's also the thing. I do this rather fast because I know that everybody has some questions now, and it's nicer that I can directly answer your questions, and also the other people will have a lot of value from these questions so that we can move on, right? Oh, let me first put the link in the 1 minute. because otherwise I'm going to forget it. So through this link, you can book a direct call with me. It should be in the link. No, I should do it to everybody. Sorry, Katie, I sent it to you privately. Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, so let's see. I also, if that's the first thing I want to do, I mean, there are questions and there are people that if you feel stuck somewhere, you know, there's a difference between a question and if you are stuck. If you say, listen, I am stuck here, I want to do this and this, and I'm stuck at some point, then you're always stuck in one of the 5 steps, right? And that's a little bit what I first want to do, is see if everybody is stuck and you want some coaching on it. I will gladly do that. So you can put up your digital hand if you want, and I will address you. This is the second page here. Okay, 2 pages. If not, we'll go to the questions. Okay. You can always, I know sometimes we don't know each other, right? And it's on Zoom and everything. Okay, everybody, does anyone have a question? And if that's not the case, I don't believe you. Put up your digital hand, please, and I can address you. Digital hand, you just go to reactions, you click it. And then...
Eddy.
Yes, Georgette,
Hello?
you have a question? Yes.
Okay, let me say this. I think what I want us to do here, Eddy, okay, if you have questions, it will be good for him to listen to all your questions first and then answer, so that he doesn't have to repeat himself over
I know,
and over.
I know, Georgette, but
So if you have
sometimes
your question,
I know. Wait, please. But sometimes these questions are really personal, and everybody has, and the success is so wide, and so let's just, if somebody has a question, let's start there, and if other people hear my answer to the question, their question will be answered too. So just put up your digital hand or your hand or whatever, so I can see you if you have something you want to address. So nobody has a question. Okay, Verena. Okay.
Hi, I have a question. That was very interesting what you said. I think that the idea to develop passion is first step, as you said. Now, let's assume we're all into the process of something.
Yes.
You think we can always go back to the starting point and develop that passion again, or is that what you mentioned by being stuck?
No, you can always go back. Listen, so when I had this first career, I ended my career in 2015 because I had a burnout, right? So I stopped performing. I was performing in more than 25 years and I had a burnout, so I left it. And then I had a problem because I was doing like 25 years what I loved. I did clowning with a lot of passion, and suddenly, and it is possible that I had it, that a passion goes away, that the passion is away, whatever the whatever the reason is. So there I was, and I really didn't know what to do. And it took me a few years to really, finding out again what I could do and if I had other passions or what I would do. But slowly but surely I rolled into this coaching and I discovered, wow, this coaching is so, it appeals to me. And the most beautiful thing was that I do my coachings exactly the same way as I did hospital clowning. I use the same system, right? So there I found my passion again. So if you lose your passion or say, I'm stuck, there's always a way to go back to another passion and to look into. And that's also what I want to emphasize is, if you feel that you're not happy or there's something that isn't working, you can always take a step back, but it's always one of the 5 things that you are stuck in. And my advice is always figure it out with somebody. You cannot figure it out yourself. I get a lot of people who ask me, I don't know what my passion is. And like within the hour, we know, and then you can move on. That's also what I told you. I was like I lost 5 to 6 years just to thinking I can figure it out on my own, but you can't. and just ask for people. People will help you. If not for free, then paid or whatever, but they will help you. Does that answer your question, Vidya?
Thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. Some other questions? I see someone saying, I'm very intelligent, but always afraid to speak in public. Yeah, people and no, I lose my job because of that. Yeah, okay. So to address this, there's been an investigation in the US, in the United States, that 4 out of 10 people, that's 40% of the people, are afraid to speak in public, right? So I don't know who put the question, but it doesn't matter. So that's the first thing you need to know. It's normal, right? There are only 2 fears that are born. 2. That's the fear of sound and the fear of falling. These are the 2 natural fears. All the other fears are taught or are experienced. So when you are afraid of speaking in public, then there is something else. It's not the fear of speaking in public. I get a lot of clients, even CEOs, who are afraid to speak in public, and we address this, but we dig deep to what it is. You know, we don't solve the speaking in public because that is not a real fear. The real fear comes from something else, which is underlying. And that's also why in my coachings, you need to be open, you need to be honest. I always tell to my clients, look, if you want to lose weight and you go to a dietist, and the dietist says, okay, write down to me what you eat, right? What you eat in a week. But you forget to mention that every day you eat a big piece of pie, this dietist can't help you. So you need to be open about that, what the problem is and how you look on things. And then speaking in public is not a problem anymore, because then you know what the real problem is. You address that problem, and speaking in public will be no problem anymore. So I don't know who wrote it, but really book a call with me and let's see how we can address this, because it's, you know, everybody can speak in public. It's no science. It's no, everybody can, but we have to figure out what the real fear is, the underlying fear. Okay. Sankalpa, do I
Yes.
say that right? Okay.
Yes, you got it right, Eddie.
Thank you.
Thanks for your talk. Enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I had a question.
Yes.
I mean, you talked about finding your passion,
Yes.
and then passion leading to confidence, energy, and then money.
Yes.
How does one go about that when, you know, because my job is pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Sometimes I end up, you know, putting all-nighters, etc. And I want to do something of my own,
Yes.
but maybe without quitting my job
Yes.
at this stage. Just so that I have some money, you know, in case I want to put it into a business.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling with how to make that time.
Okay.
Because if I'm, you know, I'm so tired at the end of the week, and then I want to relax for some time.
Yes. Yes.
How do I keep my, you know, goal in front of me and,
yeah,
you know, just keep
Yeah,
pushing ahead?
Yeah. There are a lot of layers in your question. I'll address it first, and I'll see if we want to go further.
Yeah.
The time issue, right, is in our mind. That's mindset. Because everybody has time. We all have the same time, right? And if we all have the same time, then that means we can do everything, because everybody's on the same time, right? So that is the mindset. That's the first mindset click you need to do. There is time enough, right? Now, if you put your mind on that, if you do the click, hey, I have time enough, what will happen is that possibilities will go open. You'll start to seeing things. Oh yeah, But listen, if I have 1 hour lunch break and I need a half an hour to eat, I've got a half an hour here. And if I can use this
Got it.
time, see, you start to, but if you say to yourself, if you have the mindset, I don't have time, you won't see the openings, you won't see the things. I know,
Got it.
yeah, so that you need to start with that. It's like when you buy a new car, right? Or you want to buy a new car, then suddenly you see all these, let's say you want to buy a Toyota, and suddenly you see, whoa, there are so many Toyotas driving. But before you thought about buying a new car, you didn't notice them. And that's the same.
True.
Yeah, that's the same with everything. So if you feel that you lack something, oh, I don't have time, I don't have money, this and this and this, you gotta switch your mindset. And switching your mindset is something you need to do. It's you don't have to learn that. You just need to say, wait, is that true? Do I? No, there is time. There has to be time, and then you'll see possibilities. Then you can move forward. Does that
Got it.
answer
Thank
your
you.
question?
Yeah.
But again, if you
Thank
want to, because I was in the same situation as you, in a job and then want to do something else, I want to transit to something else. That's actually most of my clients are in that position. So feel free to book a call, and there are no strings attached. So I'll be happy to speak with you.
Got it. Thank you, Eddy.
No problem. Okay. Israel, did you put your hand up? I'm not sure you put your hand in the.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Go.
Okay. It's okay. The first thing that you have to have is passion,
Yeah,
right?
starts with passion.
We're all clear about that. By the way, I loved your story, and I love, I was totally bombed away with being a clown. I didn't expect it, but it's one of the things that that makes you unique. My question is regarding the passion.
Yes.
There's some times in your life where you feel stuck and you need to change, get a it's reinventing yourself.
Yes.
With another type of passion until you find the one that you really, really enjoy and really love. Nowadays, we want to do that. We find the passion, but we also want to get paid for it, because it's like Sankalpa said, we don't have time. We need to live. We need to eat. We need to pay bills. And if we just go by our passion, and we're not living from it, we don't know when. So that turns us kind of turns us off. And
yes,
I want to know how you deal with that.
Yeah, it's a really, really good question, because most of the people that come to me, they have a passion and they are stuck with, okay, but I want to do what I love, but I have my job and I need to pay school fees, etc., etc., etc. Here again, it's a mindset, right? The problems that you create for yourself are real. If you say, hey, I'm stuck in this job and I need to feed my kids and I need to have money now, right? Then you're stuck there. I'll give you an example. When I started coaching, I was divorced and stuff, so I really didn't have money, and I needed money to build this business again, right? And then again, I went back to a previous career. How did I get money there? And the thing is, sometimes passion covers itself and you are a little bit misled in this passion. But once you really have your passion, right, this will energize you that much that you will find solutions for that money. I sold my car twice. I sold my apartment. I did this, I did that. So again, here, if your passion is big enough, right, it will energize you. And if that's not the case, and you say, yeah, sometimes it fluctuates, and then you have this passion, then you should really consider to figure out what your real passion is. Because I have a hunch that you still don't have what your real passion is. You know, it's like when I said the clowning with me wasn't the clowning, it was working with children, and that became crystal clear to me when I did this work in hospitals. There it became so crystal clear that I was doing it for the children, not for the clowning. But it took me 10 years to figure that out. And that's why I say sometimes passion comes in disguise. So what I would do is really, and that's why also that was, you know, remember point 1 from the presentation of the 5 steps. You need to be crystal clear about your passion. Crystal clear. It has to be really crystal clear. And there's no other way to telling that, but if it is crystal clear, the solution will appear magically. And I know it's woozy and it's fuzzy, I know all that, but make sure it's crystal clear. And again, if you want to talk about me, we can talk an hour about your passion and finding it until we really have what it is. And then things will open up for you, I'm sure. Does that answer your question a little bit?
Yes.
Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about, I know everybody worries about money. Don't do it. You see, you always get what you think. If you worry about money, you will have a hard time to get money. If you don't worry, money, at some point, money will come. And in my, I'm 30 years in now in this thing. You know, there was a point in my clowning career that I had 20 euros. It's about $20 in my hand, right? And I needed gas for my car to go to a gig, but I also needed to buy food. I was married then and had one child. So that was the hard decision I had to make. But I knew if I don't put the $20 into the gig, I'm not going to get there. So if I was thinking money, then I had saved my money. I went home and I never had done that gig. And during that gig, and that's the magical thing that happened. So I did the gig. People were very enthusiastic. It was really good. And afterwards, a person comes to me and he gives me 100 euro. That was really great. He says, "Give me 100 euro." Magically.
Okay.
And I can give you a lot of examples of that. It's the same with the car. You don't see if you don't focus, and that's why mindset is so important. It's all here. It's all here, Israel. And you always get to be right, if you know what I mean. You always get to be right. If you think you can't do it, you will get right. You will be right. If you think you can do it, you'll be right.
Okay. Can I ask one more question?
Of course.
One of the first things that you said, and one of the most important thing is that you have to be crystal clear. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, you may be good at something, very good at something, and you think that could be your passion.
Yes.
But then you find out that it's not.
Absolutely. That's why I say passion comes in disguise. Passion is tricky. Passion is really tricky because sometimes you have, oh, I can make money and I'm making money with it. Whoa. But it's not your passion. Not your passion. And that's where the block comes. Because if you really want to go for success, at some point, when it's not a real passion, you will get stuck at some point. It can be 10 years in, 20 years in, some people even.
Okay. It's like in the situation that I'm now. Yeah. Okay. But I will book a call.
Yeah, book a call. I will talk about it. We can go personal and deeper into it, and it will be a lot of value for you. I'm very sure.
Perfect.
Let me see if there's another one.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no problem. It's my pleasure. Verena, you have another one.
Yes,
you're on a roll, Verena. Verena is on a roll here.
Relating to just what's been said lately, the core part, the essential part is to find really the passion and the core passion, not the outliers, not the secondary aspects. Now, how do I distinguish the primary basic passion from everything around it? Because as Israel said, I might be very good at something, I might really be good, but it's not what gives me the spark. So is there any tool or any hint to really find it out?
There is. If it energizes you, if you jump out of bed every morning, if you want to shout it from the rooftops, then you found it, not before.
Okay.
That's the way to know. That's really the way to know. If it gives you all the energy you need, then you found it. So apparently you didn't find it yet.
Maybe not, who knows?
Yeah, but that it is really like that, and I've been there before. Even in my coaching business, coaching is now my passion. Coaching is now my passion. Helping people, making people happy is my passion. That was also, that was a thing. And also being in front of an audience is my passion. That are the passions. And these things I need to wave into what I'm doing now. This energizes me, right? I love to help people. I love to speak before people. And if I can't do that, if I can't fix this into my job, then I will never get there. I need these things and you can implement them in your job. Most of the time, it's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see, because I'm not following the teacher will appear when the student is ready. Absolutely, yeah. Good saying, awesome. Okay. Okay. Such an amazing talent and gift. Okay. Okay, somebody else who has a question. Okay. I'm flipping through the pages here.
Okay, let me.
Georgette, yes? Is that you? Yeah.
Okay, when it comes to passion, as you said, passion is very important.
Yeah.
Can we also say that decision making is also part of it? Do we really need the decision making in search of our passion, or we just have to we just have to identify what we are good at and say it's our passion? Because I think in the way I'm looking at it, decision making is also important. If I discover that I'm good at this decision making, I have to decide if that's really what I want to do. Is my passion? Yes. But if I don't decide, I won't be able to keep it up. I'll just be discouraged because I'm undecided if that's what I want to do or not. Yeah. So I just want to know if decision making is part of that passion we need.
Well, again, the answer is a little bit the same. So being good at something isn't necessarily your passion. It's sometimes even far off, right? So you have to establish what your passion is, and then decision making will become easy, because then you will decide, oh, I'm jumping out of bed here, I'm loving this. Then the decision will be so easy to make, so easy to make. Then you'll go for your passion automatically because it makes you happy, it energizes you. Of course you will make that decision. But again, step one is very important. And if you're not really clear about your passion, if you're not really clear about yourself, well, yeah, that's really number one. You need to be clear about your passion, clear about yourself. That's number one. And you can't skip it. Can't skip it. And I know some people are very good in some things and they make a lot of money with it, but they are not fulfilled. They are not happy. They buy a lot of cars and a lot of stuff, but they're not happy. They are not. And that's the key here. If you follow your passion, that's also a way to happiness and fulfillment and to serve your values, etc., etc. I mean, I could talk hours about that, but the point is, passion is number one. Start with that and everything will fall into place. Yeah. Also the decision making. I saw somebody else hand up. Let me see. Oh, is it down? No, I thought I saw somebody. Was it Yolanda? Was your hand up? Did you put it down again? I thought I saw something like that.
Hey, no, Yolanda. I don't.
Sorry?
Hey. I only say that same as many marriages, that they are together but unhappy, inconsistencies.
Yeah, it's all the same, I think, and I really think that, and that's also something I learned out of clowning, people make life too complicated. They just do. And if you can, it's of course, it's another topic, but okay. If you can hold your answer or your idea to a yes or no, life will become easier. Do you want children? It's yes or no. If you say, I don't know yet, don't do that, because you can't. Do you want a relationship? Do you want to get married? Yes or no? It's not in between. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You are pregnant or you're not, right? And
Correct.
yeah, and that's also something I learned out of clowning. Make it simple, make it easy, make it a yes and no, and you will be happy, and you will go through life much easier. And stay out of the gray. Just stay out of the gray. Say yes or say no, but don't stay in between, because you will make yourself unhappy.
Totally. Thank you.
That was a little bit off topic, but it's okay. It's okay. I love it. Thank you. Okay. Somebody else? Yolanda again, or did you forget to put your hand down? No. Oh, she's on a roll now. She's on a roll, boys and girls. She's on a roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eddy, now I raise my hand, no? I would like to ask you something. How about if you get that successful and you are on the top of your mountain?
Yes.
We can call it this. It's just as figurative language, no?
Yes.
But because you are doing or making, as you say, what you want,
yes.
For example, your passion.
Yes.
In my case, I am a lawyer.
Yes.
And my passion are the people, the
Yes.
justice, and equity.
Yes.
I love it.
I
I always seek, yes, it made me feel happy when I do my job.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, there are many people that are not happy as we are.
Mhm.
So, and they are very selfish
Yes.
and jealous.
Yes.
What could be the strategy to overcome those obstacles that they create in your path?
Can you resume it to a question?
Because
What is
it
your
happens.
question? Yeah. What is your question exactly?
Exactly, is what could be the recipe or your suggestions?
Yes.
How we can overcome those obstacles that are creating for those kind of people, selfish,
Yeah.
jealous, envy,
Yeah.
and so
now,
on.
now I understand your
path.
question. The answer is really simple,
Thank you.
Yolanda. It is a really simple answer. You can only make yourself happy. You can't make somebody else happy. Let that sink in.
Thank you.
You really can't make anybody else happy besides yourself.
Correct.
And then when that happens, then you can radiate. It's like, it's like a bucket, right? With water. And if you don't fill it with water, you can't give water to other people. Happiness is like a candle. One candle can lit 1,000,000 candles. 1,000,000. But if the candle doesn't burn, your candle stops.
Yes.
It's cut, and you can't do no more than that. If you have your candle that's burning, and some people don't want to lit their candle, you can't help that. You can't make them happy. You can't force them to be happy. You can lead a horse through water, but it has to drink itself. You can't make it drink. It has to drink itself.
Totally. Thank you, Eddy. Just to be focused. No, I in my how I do, just keep focus on my way.
Yeah.
That's it. Because if I am doing what I feel, it make me feel happy.
Yeah.
I ignore the surrounding, you know. But you cannot be in a bubble. You cannot be alone, isolated in a bubble. So you have to deal with them, with
it will go automatically. It will radiate. It will go automatically. The moment you are happy, you will attract people who want to be happy. You will attract people. You will the ripple will go on. But you cannot do. You're happy. You're giving things, and and that's your work too, and that's everybody's work here. If you have a work, any kind of work, right, and you help people or you do something for people, this has ripples. Maybe you help somebody who that day was thinking, I'm just making things up here. Maybe you help somebody, and that somebody thought about killing himself that day, just saying something, and he changed his mind. With doing that, like it or not, you have changed the world. You have changed the world, because everybody knows so many people in contact, and if something happens, it's like if you throw a rock in the river or in a pond, it has wrinkles, and the wrinkles go until the pond ends. They keep going, 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 going. Because each action you take, each thing you do, somebody in the world will feel it and will have a good thing about it, right? And I really believe that. And I felt it before. A real story is when I was in this hospital clowning, I visited a family, and there were two children. One was 3, the other was, I think, 4 or 5. And the 4-year-old had cancer. So I think he died like a few weeks later. And I didn't hear anything about these people. And, I teached, right? I was a teacher. And I had this kid with me in class. And he said to me, I know you. I said, yeah, okay, could be. And he said, you visited my brother in hospital. I said, yeah, could be, because that period I visited a lot of children, and some you remember, some you don't. It's normal. So he told a little bit about the story. He said, yeah, now I remember. And I really did remember. And then he said to me, what you did there made my parents so happy that now they are still talking about other people about that. And that was just this little thing that I did there. For me, it was, I just did it, and I make the kid laugh and blah, blah, blah. And then, so, I mean, it's that long, it's that much how it can. And now that was a coincidence that I knew that I saw this, I think 10 years later, I saw this kid. So that was a coincidence but even without that, when you do these things, they will go on. You want it or not. We're getting a little bit off topic, but doesn't matter.
Many thanks, Eddy. Many thanks.
You're welcome, Yolanda. Georgette.
Okay, I just wanted to add to what Yolanda said. Okay, I think a bit out of what we are saying. When you work in a toxic environment, if you like it or not, you have to face such things. But what I do most of the time, once I'm very, but there's one thing I also can say, that whatever you are, you have to be very observant. So once you see that attitude, you need to first, but if you allow them to take control of you, you'll be weighed down and you'll be depressed. But what you have to do within yourself, be happy within yourself, stick to yourself, let them know that you can do without them in that environment. You are who you are, they cannot change you. Once they realize that, before you know it, they will come back and become friends with you. That's what I do. If you don't allow me to be, I will let you be. Do what I want to do. And before you know it, they'll be the one to come back to you and become your friend. So as I said, you only give what you have.
Yes.
If you don't know how to give love, you can't give it out.
True.
So all about life is if you have a heart to serve, whatever you are, it's radiate. People will say it. But those who don't like you will always try to make you feel bad. But what you have to stand on what you believe in. Yeah. Let them know that this is what you are. They cannot change you. Once Absolutely. They see that, they will accept you and you are happy. Yeah. So that's what I do.
Yes,
that's
but
what we should do.
That's very good, because the thing that you do is you stay yourself, and you are yourself, and you act as yourself. And nowadays people don't act as themselves. They are, if they are at work, they are somebody else, or they are at home, or they're etc., etc. And but you just need to be yourself. And I've learned that, believe it or not, I've learned that through my coaching, that I was also not always being myself, right? But through coaching, that I was coaching other people, I needed to be myself. I needed to be this real myself and being honest to people. And when you are honest to people, you can help people the most. But sometimes being honest, right? We are learned not to do, right? If I if I see somebody that I haven't seen for 20 years and he gained 50 pounds, right? And if I say, yeah, you gained a little bit weight, yeah, okay. Or I say, guy, 50 pounds, make sure they go away, because you're going to die if you're going to. Then I help the person, right? It's no use not to be honest to people. Of course, the way you tell people that's another story, but you need to be honest. And as a coach too, I am brutally, and I mean that, I am brutally honest. And most people, why they are not having success is because they are telling themselves stories and believe it. They are believing their own stories. And then when I say, okay, that's a story, that's not true. You're making that up. You're having excuses. And once that's all chopped away, then they say, yeah, okay, you're right. Now I'm going to start doing this, or I got going to start do 10 calls a week, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's also, but that's of course the next step in all these things. But again, we're a little bit off topic, but it doesn't mind. But that are all the things I have to deal with in my coaching, is being honest, telling people where they stand, how far they are, and finding an action plan to change it, actually. That's all. But if they are willing and if they are open, then anything is possible. And I remind them, when I was young and I wanted to be a clown, everybody told me it was impossible, but I did it. Barbara, you have a beautiful name, Barbara La Roca.
Obrigada. I'm also learning Portuguese, although I'm Italian.
Oh, okay.
You actually just reminded me, I'm reinventing myself, in which case, as I reinvent, I'm going, well, where is my passion? But something, because you kept saying it and you're amazing, I suddenly remembered what I already knew, but I haven't done, which is two things. One, to go to my childhood and say, where was my passion then?
Yes.
And is there some reflection now where that passion could be expressed? And so that was like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then the other one was to spend 3 nights, every night you go to sleep, asking, show me my passion.
Yeah.
And wait for a dream, or wait for, or even just get up in the morning and look around, because somewhere that day you can get inspiration. And I was wondering if you have other ideas, if your passion has sort of gone astray a little bit, where else would you look?
Book a call with me.
Say again?
Book a
Book
call with me. Yes. We'll find your passion, because I don't believe that passion will drop out of trees in a dream. You have to talk to people and cut away all the bullshit that there is. And it is, I told that Israel, your passion is always in disguise and it tricks you. But if you talk to somebody who is honest to you, it can't trick you. But you have to be open for that. Not everybody is. The first thing you said, I can agree, that in your childhood there were things you love to do. But here again, passion is a tricky thing. It's not the thing you love to do. Often it's not your passion. It is, that you are good at. That's often not your passion. It's that other thing that you keep losing, or you don't see yourself. And sometimes, I once did a certification for a very famous, don't know if you guys know Rich Litvin. He's a really, really good coach, has written a terrific book, and he calls it the lantern effect, lantern something. So what he says is, that's true. When you talk aloud to a lantern post, you know what I mean? Something that gives light, but you have to talk aloud to it. That will give you more solutions than staying in your head and overthinking things. And that's even just to a lantern. So if you go in contact to another person, these ideas will bounce off and you will get this going. And before you know it, you'll know what your passion is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Israel.
Is it possible to have, the question is it's kind of dumb, but
No,
it's
there
a
are no
question.
dumb questions.
There are no dumb questions.
No.
Is there more? Can you have more than one passion?
I think so. But who doesn't say that these different passions can come together in one thing, for example?
Okay.
But I think that people can have more than one passion. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't they?
Okay, okay, thank you.
Welcome.
I will book a call, a 15-minute call
Yeah,
for Monday.
Sure, sure. You're very welcome. Barbara, did you have another question or did you forget to lower your hand? Yeah, you forgot to lower your hand. Okay, okay. Okay, somebody else, and otherwise we're going to think about wrapping up. No? Okay, no problem. Okay, guys, I really have to acknowledge you for listening to me. It was an honor. It was really, really good. You guys are really into these things, and I can feel that. I love it. Again, if you want to have a personal conversation, we book a call. And again, there are no strings attached to that call. You cannot buy anything on the call. It's totally giving value to you, right? So do that. Thank you, Virana. But again, thank you for your for being here. I want to also thank Georgette for giving me the opportunity on this platform here. Georgette, you were great, amazing. And maybe we can all unmute ourselves and give Georgette a very big applause. So unmute yourself and give her applause now. Thank you, Georgette. Guys, have a wonderful
Thank you very much.
I don't know if you still want to say something, Georgette, but for me, I'll wrap it up now.
Okay, yes, I also want to thank each one for to have made possible to be here. I think we will have more of Eddy on the event. So when there's a new event on Eddy, I think I'll put it for you. I think it was very interesting. Even though I would say I'm successful, yet I've learned from what he said. So more event from Eddy, and I think we can't wait for the next event on Eddy. So thank you for attending. Thank you, and do have a good evening.
Thank you, Georgette. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.